You know, the video that I talked about how I was quitting Destiny, I did quit. The advertising team for Destiny is very good. It brings people back into the game when really nothing's happening. And you're getting back into the game, and the game is still the same until they do something to piss you off and take away your weapons. In a different way, in a different form. But here I am, talking about it again, and there's two reasons. The first one was the original video I was gonna make, which Bungie seems to believe they know the reason why people aren't playing and why the fun factor is no longer there. And it's because in strikes and other activities, there's not enough enemies. Not the fact that all your weapons that you've grinded for 3 to 4 years at this point have been sunset because, fuck us, right? There's not enough enemies and there's not enough shit for you to shoot, because that makes sense. I was gonna make an opinionated video of that, and then BioWare had to screw up and kill off Anthem. And I wasn't planning on making a video today. But in a span of 2 days, there's so much newsworthy shit to talk about. So, Destiny 2 has now gotten rid of sunsetting. The internet's gonna blow this out of proportion. The guns that you got in the first year, the second year, the third year, for the majority of it, those guns are still gone. Regardless of whatever they want to say as far as sunsetting, those guns are gone because they didn't want to piss too many people off. Sunsetting was here to stay. Those guns were going to go away anyway. People got rid of all their guns, so like, one of my favorite guns that I have is Trust, and it's got a cool roll to it. I can't play with that gun anymore because the light level's not high enough. The usefulness of that gun is gone. I mean, regardless, I don't play that game anyway. I'm happy I'm gone from Destiny because now I get to see this weird relationship that they have with their fan base, that now that I'm on the outside, I get to see it and just think, holy fuck. Bungie is that bad girlfriend that you have that promises all these things and then cheats on you and then comes back to you begging and saying things are going to be better, but they really do it in a different way where it doesn't matter. It's just, they are such a shitty company, and they expect you to believe this shit, and then once they get you back, they're gonna piss you off all over again, just so you buy the other DLCs. Why do people still, to this day, trust Bungie as a game developer and publisher? Because now Activision is out the door. It boggles my mind. As far as a live service game, this game could be so much more, and that's why everyone is holding on to this game, and the YouTube fan base for this game is huge. I mean, they've got the YouTube Destiny darlings, like Dado and Azictros and all those other guys. What is it, Rick Hackis HD? They've got these people literally advertising their game for them. Literally, they can put out a tweet and everybody gets excited, even for a little short clip of a gameplay video with one gun that's coming out, and you never know when it's come out. It's probably going to come out in 2 months. But it's just that weird connection that they have with that fan base, and they really don't need to do much. But they do in certain, like, big one-year reveals. They do a lot. But in between, like, seasons, they don't do shit. They hope the YouTube community does that for them. Bungie is not the same that it used to be as far as, like, Halo 1, 2, 3, Reach. Once they branched off from Microsoft, even at this point, branching off away from Activision, I mean, they've shown how greedy they really are. The fact that they're making a change and they're patting themselves on the back for enemy numbers, ramping them up by clicking a few buttons probably on their computer. If it's harder than that, then correct me, I don't really care. But it's just the way that they make these things sound. It's as easy as going into their files and changing numbers. The sunsetting, the numbers of enemies in a certain area, it's all just numbers. And then they're pushing back dates to other DLCs, like the DLC that was coming out, I don't know what it's called, something with the Queens. Now it's pushed back till the beginning of 2022. Why do people still enjoy this game, and why do people still trust Bungie? And if you truthfully enjoy it, please let me know in the comments below, but I'm still confused. I've held on to that fact that I loved Halo 3 back in the day, and I loved collecting the skulls, getting the armor pieces, playing PvP. I looked at Destiny when it first came out at E3 thinking, my god, this is the future of gaming. And for real, now that I've grown older with this game, I don't like the future of gaming. Live services, as far as gaming, have been nothing but a letdown the entire time. It'd be different if there was one gaming developer and publisher that made a live service game that showed the rest of the other developers and publishers how to do it correctly and keep their fan base engaged without ripping them off and pissing them off on a daily basis, then they would all fall in line. But until then, live service games are not good. Outriders, I have no idea how that game is. I don't even plan on researching that game. Don't want anything to do with it. Something catches my eye, maybe I'll look into it, but trust me, day one, week one, the first month, I won't touch a live service game. Ever. Unsunsetting weapons is not going to save your game. Ramping up the numbers to enemies is not going to save your game. Eventually, your fan base is going to die off. Even your YouTube darlings are talking shit on your game at this point. As a publisher and a developer, you need to figure out morally how to fix your game or how to reintroduce it. Because right now it's in a broken state where you're charging way too much for the shit that you're putting out. It's a lot less than it used to be. You can say that you have a smaller team. I don't care. You had a smaller team back when you had the Taken King. You can make a game with the amount of time that you have as far as a DLC better than you've been making the ones that you have. Destiny just needs to be revamped, or it needs to just go away. When you play Destiny and you receive a gun or a piece of armor, in 2 years, you should be able to come back to that game and still be able to use that, infuse other armor into that or weapons into that to make it useful in the content that you're playing. That's the idea, that's the dream, but for some reason, Bungie just doesn't see it the way that everyone else should see it. That's why, Bungie, you really need to just go away. Just go away and try something new. I already know you're making another game. It's probably because you're milking your core audience dry, but goddamn. Please, just go away.